From the YBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rockland, California, it's Bout That Life podcast with your host, Coach C. Collins and Coach MJ.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Coach C. Collins.
Coach MJ, GGT.
And welcome to About That Life podcast, where we talk basketball life and a little bit of in between. We've been gone for a minute, and unfortunately, we're only doing this episode audio. But for those who've been listening, because our audio base is bigger than our YouTube base, we appreciate you. Ty is taking care of his boy, so he just had his second son. So he's
congrats.
Yeah,
Ty.
exactly, man. He's doing the daddy thing right now. But we look forward to when he gets back, and we can get back to having video and audio together again, right? So before we get into our guests and everything else on the bulk of the show, please feel free to, if you are listening, and we know like 70 to 80% of you guys guys and girls who listen to us on the audio or on YouTube, you're not subscribed, you're not following, and why not hit that subscribe? Why not hit that follow button? If you're checking us out, you might as well support. We really appreciate you if you do. We appreciate the Patreon members. I see that's growing more and more and more. Before we get into our sponsors, again, one small click for you is a big help for us. So please feel free to hit that like and notification button. It helps a lot. Or if you're listening to the audio, hit that follow button and keep up with all the new stuff. I'm going to try to start to upload more Patreon videos so we have more exclusive content for those who are supporting on the back end. And everything you're doing is a big help to us. So for our sponsors, again, Dr. Dish, appreciate you. Best shooting machine on the market. We got the Home, the Rebel, the All-Star. Please feel free to check their website out. Tell them About That Life sent you. They'll hook you up with a discount. Looking for tournaments in the Sacramento area, holler at DeMario Belk with West Coast Takeover. He has tournaments pretty much going on all year round. He's even traveling to Utah and other places like that. So feel free to hit him up, check him out. We have Zenify. Zenify is an online business site. They help you through clear vision and purpose. They can solve even the most complex technical business issues and are a trusted advisor. So they basically help get your website and your organization and your business off the ground. If you kind of are starting up a business and have no idea what to do, they're a good place to hit up. Shout out to West Coast Legends. If you need sublimation, decals, embroidery, screen printing, graphics, logos, anything like that, they could hook you up. Hit Danae or Marcus up. Let them tell them About That Life sent you. They'll hook you up with a discount. And then last but not least, if you're looking for tournaments in the Rockland area, please feel free to go to Hardwood Palace or Courtside Basketball, both sponsors of the show. They're very consistent. Elijah Wan, who's been on the show, I think it was like episode 5 or 6. He is the director for Courtside. Hit up Steve at Hardwood. Both programs are both tournament programs, run a really good show, really tight ship, and they're always there looking for teams, especially if you're an AAU program, looking for a starting point where to go for good basketball and good tournaments. So with all that being said, let's get to our guest. This guest is he is.
No, keep telling.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Nah, get it out. It's a lot.
I'm trying to do the quickest version I can. He is a comedian.
Preach.
He is a content creator.
Testify.
He is a highly intelligent brother.
Wow.
And he loves hoop, and he goes out there and balls out with me. So every now and then, right?
Every now and again.
Every now and then, we try to stretch our legs out.
Little cardio, ain't never hurt nobody.
No, I appreciate this man.
These abs don't make they self, people.
You're absolutely right. I appreciate this man taking the time out to grace us with his presence. Without further ado, let me introduce to you guys Lance Woods.
Oh, with the crowd cheer.
Man. Come on, man.
I'll be honest with you. Your voice didn't sound like that until you turned the mic on.
It didn't sound like that?
This late night In the Groove radio voice you got going on. I want to thank our sponsors who be sponsoring us.
Hey, man.
West Coast Takeover.
I can't what am I supposed to sound like? Angry all the time? I can't have a radio voice?
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, I like the radio voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all listening, but you're not subscribing. Just hit that button.
I appreciate
when he
it.
coaching, it's a different tone. For
Okay,
sure.
now the coaching voice is
3 different tones.
yeah, the coaching voice. That's
I'm
definitely
glad
different.
it's a couch between us with that voice. I don't need that kind of pressure. Got light skin eyes and so one small like for you is a giant leap for mankind.
See, man, I knew this episode was gonna be a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
fun. I knew this was gonna be a lot of fun. Well, I want people to know who you are outside of, because obviously locally, Sacramento wise, everybody knows you, man. Like you've done some great things so far, man. But outside of what you're doing now, what are your ties with basketball and your background with basketball and your love of the game? Why don't you tell us about that?
So look, before anything, I wanted to be a basketball player, a boxer, or the Mac.
The Mac?
The Mac, yeah.
You mean from the movie?
The Mac, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wanted
just making
a Cadillac.
sure.
I wanted a few girls. I wanted a
I'm making
natural.
sure.
I wanted some Gators.
So listen, some of our viewers are like below 19. They literally have no idea what we're talking about right now, but that's all right.
Tell them to use their Googles,
right?
and they gonna see a code. Woo! But I used to want to be like Max Julian, Phil Most, one of them dudes,
one of
right?
them.
But
Fillmore
then it was
Slim.
basketball and boxing.
Okay.
Was what it was, and I thought this is how young people think.
Okay.
I never had a work ethic until I hit about 19. I didn't know how to work. Like, I didn't know how to work out. I didn't know how to I didn't know how to get something I wanted without like stealing it or something like that.
At least you would admit it. At least you admit
Yeah,
it.
you gotta know yourself. So I used to say I was going to the NBA.
Okay.
Never had a work ethic, and I was like 5'8". I'm to the league. I don't know what y'all
You
talking
say
about.
you tell everybody. You
I
tell
don't know what y'all want, bro. I'm to the league, homie.
All
You
right.
seen Spud Webb.
Yeah.
So, but I played ball all junior high, high school, and all of that. But I could never play once the season started because my grades was always trash.
Shit. So you never played?
No,
No, because of fucking grades.
Like so, I would play summer league,
Right.
and coaches would use me in tryouts.
Right.
They would use me to push the players that they knew was gonna make the team.
That's hilarious.
I mean, because especially like in high school, I was athletic too. I could run,
Right.
jump, and
Right.
you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. But the coaches knew like, ain't no way in hell I had a .67 GPA.
Oh shit.
Goddamn.
Bro.
Yeah, .67.
You had to like put effort.
Yeah.
To
Only
do
class
that.
I was passing was lunch.
Yeah.
That's all I had. I had an A in lunch, and everything else
Oh man.
was off. Right?
I appreciate. I love your honesty, bro.
I'm telling you, it was bad, bro. So and I wear contacts now, but back then I wore glasses. But it wasn't cool to wear glasses. See, Mark got the glasses on now, and they look good. But I also didn't have this.
The 6'4" frame.
Not the 6'4". I didn't have the hair of.
Oh yeah.
The waves.
What'd you say? He said hair of an angel.
I didn't have the hair of a sheep.
That sheep.
Yeah,
He got that Matt Barnes hair, bro.
yeah. He got Matt only wishes his hair looks like that. Oh my god, you can't even brush that. You got a vacuum
Right.
on that hair.
Damn.
You knew this episode was gonna be
That
like this,
is
bro.
man.
that is prime hair, baby.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I agree.
Listen, I need a carpet cleaner because
It was not. It was longer than that. He cut it.
can't use shampoo on this.
I got some content now. I can't wait to cut this up.
Oh my goodness. So I couldn't see.
Okay.
When I tell you my eyes is bad, like
So you couldn't shoot, I'm assuming.
I did everything off of memory.
All right.
All of these
Fair enough.
things helped me later in life. I got one of the
see
sharpest
that.
memories of anybody I know.
I agree with you
because
on
I
that.
had to condition myself to remember things.
Right.
So like I used to break my glasses on purpose
Break them on purpose.
because I didn't want to wear them.
Oh,
you know, my
okay.
mom
Right,
be like,
right,
put
right,
your
right,
glasses
right,
on.
right, right.
I'd be like, they broke. When they broke. Now, once I stepped on it. So what I would have to do is like,
Liz, dude.
so like how I'm reading the banner right there.
Yeah.
So I would maybe either put my glasses on or just walk up real close to it and see it all. So then when I sit back here, I can't read it no more, but I had to
But you
remember.
memorize it. Yeah.
That's how I had to do with menus and everything. It's like,
All
oh, I
right.
know what's there already.
Right.
I did that with basketball, and organized basketball was so easy to me, especially at that level,
Right.
because everybody's so robotic.
Yeah.
So
Very much so.
So it was like, I remember I used to make some of the best passes they had ever seen, but it was
Right.
only because I just trusted the pass because
Right,
that was
'cause
the
you knew
play.
where they were-
I knew where they was going. You know what I mean? It's, the play is they're going there, so you make the best
Right,
pass.
right.
And there's everybody's so robotic. If
Right.
you and it gets different the higher levels of basketball you go up. But
Of course.
the lower levels of basketball, it's a conditioning.
Yeah.
So when you get there, you put your hands up, you put your hands down. It's
Right,
like
right.
so when you make entry pass, you fake high and go low. And they always go like this. And it's like there is nobody who's saying, yo, I know what they're doing the same
Right.
things we're taught. So
Right,
when they
right.
fake up, I know, like, no, maybe I just shouldn't fall for that.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? So it was like
So when you're younger, you just picked up on all the habits.
I just picked up on all of the habits and I just remembered everything.
Very good.
And
Very
then,
good.
Yeah, I didn't start wearing contacts till I started doing comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I knew I wouldn't be able to get on stage confidently with glasses or blind.
Okay. Did you ever go on stage like without them, without
No.
your contact glasses one time?
No.
All right.
No, I ain't never went on stage and Ray Charles did.
Okay. I just like you can't see no one. You just like fuck it. I can't see.
I
if y'all
wish I
laughing
would
or
have, because I
not.
remember when I was doing it early, they was like, just imagine everybody in their underwear. And this crowd wasn't the crowd I wanted to imagine
it
their
wasn't.
underwear. I said, oh, no, this, y'all trying to make me seasick.
Right. That's hilarious. I like that. All right. Well, good. So it's clear you had a passion for hoop.
Yeah. And I'm like a good student. I was never a good student in school, but
Right.
I'm a student of things that I'm interested in. So like I used to I'm not the same way about hoop now because you get older and you got different responsibilities and focus.
But it's just fun now. I mean,
It's just fun. It's
right,
just
get
fun
together
now,
hoop.
and I'm talking about even watching it. Like,
Oh yeah.
I used to be able to name every player in the NBA,
Oh wow.
like
Shit, I can't
every
do that now.
single player. I can't. I
Yeah.
can. What?
Yeah.
And I was watching. This ain't NBA. It was football. The football game was on. I said, I don't know any of these people.
Ain't got time to watch no more.
I don't know any of
Got
these
life and
people.
responsibility. I mean,
But-
I'm lucky if I can catch a Raiders game.
Yeah.
Lucky.
You asked me to name 3 Raiders. Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Okay, every car got to have a driveway. So some
That's right.
got to be some player named Garage or something if they got a car. And I know they got the gay dude who just not
You said Nate? I have no clue.
no, they got one of the Raiders that just came out.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did.
Na-
I don't remember his
Na-
name, but
Nesbitt,
you're right.
Napster?
Yeah, he's gay, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know I'm not guessing. He said it, and his
Yeah.
boyfriend confirmed. Then I seen the way he tackles. I said, "Oh, he does like that. This guy's ferocious.
Oh, that's hilarious, bro.
There's no man getting away from him. Get back here." His MVP numbers.
We're 3-1 right now, though, so
Yeah.
hey, he's doing his job.
How does he have 73 sacks in 2 games? He has a different motivation than you, sir.
Oh my god.
You don't want it as bad as he does. Trust me.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
That's all I got. I don't know
That's
no
it.
other Raiders.
I agree.
But it's like I'm just not as connected. Like I watch, but I'm just not.
Yeah.
So anyway, I used to just be I used to collect basketball cards.
Okay.
Like I used to have like big binders of cards.
Right,
I wish
right.
I had them now because they
Right.
probably worth some
They're
bread.
probably worth a lot of money.
I had about 200 and something Michael Jordan cards alone. Like I used to have crazy.
Yeah.
I used to buy the Beckett's. Remember the Beckett's?
I remember those.
You remember the Beckett's, Mark?
Yeah.
Where they show you the value of the cards and you looking at, okay, I got the Fleers, say 97, 97, $3. I'm about to be rich.
Hell no.
This card worth $3.95.
So that means you a historian then, like when it comes
Yes.
to the
Yes.
game.
Yes.
So when was, because like you said, like you're pretty busy now, and there's a lot. The game has changed. When was your era where you kind of stopped really? Was it like what 2010, 2011? Like if I had to tell you now, could you tell me all the players in the league now? I'm assuming, yeah. Like
No, absolutely
a
not.
lot of new youngins now.
Yeah. I can't. But I'm very. Basketball is a little like I disconnected from football a while ago.
Yeah. Me too.
But I never disconnected from
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
I just don't watch how I used to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm very much connected with
Yeah.
the NBA.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say nothing stopped. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a point to where I just couldn't watch every game no more,
Yeah,
just because
yeah,
my
yeah.
life got
Yeah.
busier.
Okay.
But then even being more connected with the Kings made me reinvest,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. Like,
Well, and that was one of the questions I was going to talk to. I'm glad you brought that up. You currently work for the Kings, right?
no, I work
thought you did.
with the Kings.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
With the Kings. I'm sorry.
Well, no,
You're
because
right.
I'm not like a
yeah.
staff king, and I think, and they've never said this to me, but I think I should say that kind of stuff because I be saying some wild stuff. And then, you know what I mean? If I'm
Right.
if you say I work for them,
Yeah,
then
they'll be like, oh hell no, we don't. But,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you work with it. You work with the Kings, no doubt.
Yeah. We collaborate on things, content wise.
How's that? I mean, how's that experience? Like how I'm sure you see Bobby Jackson and some of those guys.
You wanna know what's funny?
What's up?
I just seen Bobby.
Like your chest on?
I'm talking about on my way here.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
shout out to Bobby.
On my way here, because I told you I was at the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I just seen. I swear, I'm talking about 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
And I
Okay.
was like, I said, I gotta go do this thing. I gotta go do this this podcast.
Yeah.
Where I be at? And then Bobby was like, you talking about with Chris?
Yeah, I want him
And
to. I
then
want
Bobby
him
was
to.
like, yeah, I'm supposed to do it.
Yeah,
But
I want
I
him
just
to
been
get
busy.
shot.
And I
Yeah.
said, man, I said, come through, crash it.
Oh, that's good. So,
2 for 1.
splash for Bobby, man, and shout
Yeah.
out to him. No, because we've been talking too. We
Yeah.
were supposed to do it a while ago, but our schedules got conflicted or whatever. He's super
I'm
busy.
gonna tell you. I told Bobby to come through, and Bobby is my man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you with 100% certainty, he's not coming today.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree with you on that.
Just not gonna happen, guys.
All right. So you got a lot of ties with basketball. You enjoy it. You got a passion for the game. Obviously that's something people might not know. I wanted to talk to you about kind of, now, have you seen AAU basketball or seen AAU games? Or I know you react to a lot of videos, but have you seen like some of the crazy shit that goes on in this AAU basketball youth
Yeah.
stuff? I was just kind of, what do you think about it overall? Good, bad, indifferent? I mean, yeah, obviously something helping the youth is always a good thing, but how me, Dwayne, and all of us talk about it. TJ,
Yeah.
you hear the crazy stories we talk about.
Yeah.
So I was just curious what you thought.
I think it's good and bad, like anything else. But you gotta look at things from a standpoint of, I'm trying to word this correctly because I know exactly what I mean, but I'm trying to word it properly.
Right.
Basketball is a game. Okay, we all established that.
Yeah.
Now, this game has become a business. Now,
Absolutely.
once something becomes a business, now it's tainted. And it's filthy
Yeah.
because business is filthy. So AAU basketball is filthy.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
then.
So good things come from it. This ain't all filthy.
Right. I like to think, I'm on the good side of that shit.
Yeah,
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's just like politics.
Yeah.
Politics is filthy.
Right.
There's some people who are in politics who say, "Yo, I'm not a bad person," and maybe you're not, but you in a fucked up profession.
Yeah. I mean,
know what I mean? It's
that's
like,
close. You're right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So the AAU thing is like, this is what I wish. This is what I wish for basketball. I wish there was an understanding younger that there's a bunch of ways to make money in basketball.
Yes.
And most of everyone is not going to the NBA.
Absolutely.
So if we can go into it with that mindset, because parents are investing money and doing things with the mindset of my kid is going to be the one who makes it.
Yeah.
And it's like, or the kid could get on scholarship and the connections they make at these schools can set them up for something else.
Right.
Or there could be coaching jobs in there, for training jobs, and not just quote unquote basketball training, but like physical therapists and
Right.
all, like every school has sports. Every NBA, like there's a bunch of different jobs, and see the new era. This is my belief. My niece is 16 years old, so her a little bit, but definitely the generation after her are going to like laugh in the face of the idea of a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And be like, you want me to do what?
I agree with you on that one.
You know what I mean? You got professional basketball players. And why are they professional basketball players? Because they play basketball on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, right. That's what I was gonna get into that later in the show, but I want to talk to because you're heavily in that side of things. I mean, your content creation is a part of your business, so we'll definitely talk about that too. But you're right, this new younger and younger generation, because the episode before you, we had Marcellus. Yeah. And Marcellus Howard, he made his content. So it's
really don't like that guy.
How do you not like Marcellus?
Shots fired.
How do you not like Marcellus? Get out of here.
I love
Thank
Marcellus.
you, man. Come on now. But no,
There's
it's
something about that guy.
but it's like with
all those
Marcellus.
tricky layups. I'm sick of it.
Well, funny enough with him, it's like he's kind of considered like an OG now in the game because he started, and so now you got these younger and younger and younger and younger guys doing it more and more, and they keep elevating the game. So it's very, what you said is very accurate. A thought of a 9-to-5 for these younger and younger guys is like,
you gotta think about this too. Marcellus is like I don't want to use the wrong word, a hero. He's a hero to these younger dudes.
yes,
And to all of us. You know what I mean? Just to watch somebody do that. But I'm saying okay, so I'll be around a lot of celebrities. Be around a lot of pro basketball players and bigger comics. Some people consider me a celebrity. I don't, but
you are a celebrity, bro.
I don't.
You just don't move like one.
I take advantage of some of the perks of people thinking I'm a celebrity. I'm a celebrity, hey? Oh, yeah, come on in, baby. Yeah, this is what you do for celebrities, huh?
Exactly.
But this is the point I'm making. I remember, so I've been with pro basketball players. Just remain nameless. Just pro basketball players. Right. When I tell you the reaction is bigger when kids see Marcellus.
Yeah,
it's true,
bro. I've been with Marcellus and seen kids look like how I looked when I saw Michael Jordan when I was a kid.
Right.
Like they was like, oh, it's him.
Yeah. These content creators, these basketball content creators, I mean, they really are the new wave,
Bro, I'm talking about I remember I was at the Golden One. I was doing something. Marcellus was doing something too. I seen 60 kids stop in their track and go crazy.
Telling you.
And it was like 60 little white kids. And they see Marcellus and they was like, oh my goodness. And at the time, like I had just watched this Michael Jackson documentary. So I was like, run, Marcellus. Run from all the white kids. They gonna trap you. They gonna catch you up.
Yeah, of course.
I've seen how this story is. He didn't do it. I know him.
I can see that. I can see you doing that. I can see that whole story playing out.
I'm telling you, Marcellus is so dope. This is the crazy part. I don't watch a lot of like YouTube content like that. That's just because I wasn't. That's not how I was raised.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, see, young people, they don't watch TV.
No, they don't.
They watch YouTube.
Yeah. Or streams. Right?
Or streams,
That's it.
My 5-year-old, every time, either she got my phone or mommy's phone.
Exactly. Like, give me the phone.
She know how to just.
I had to give my oldest son his own phone when he's with me because it was Ryan's toy review. We always watching a fucking kid play with the toy. You don't want the toy?
They don't want the toy. Nah, I just want to watch somebody else.
You want to watch the little Asian kid play with it. Okay, that's fine. Cool.
It's crazy,
just on the YouTube.
Yeah.
But strangely enough, I was just watching Marcellus' video last night. I tell you I watched 2 videos. It was him and
was it like a 1-on-1 or?
Nah, they was doing the layup. They was playing horse, but it was layup.
Yeah.
And it was him and
Which guy?
The white dude with the hair.
T-Jazz?
T-Jazz,
Yeah.
So I watched the final one and the first one. Because the final one came up on my thing and I watched it. And then I was like, this is part 3, legendary. And I was like, let me see the first one. I got to see where this all started. So I watched the first one.
Yeah.
And they was doing some of the craziest stuff, but then it was them two and then Filet
Yeah.
and Dev in the lab. And like these people is like, Dev in the lab is more popular than a lot of NBA players.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Marcellus Howard is more popular than a lot of NBA players.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like Professor is my man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why funny how life works, because, I met Marcellus because I coached him.
Yeah.
That's just oddly enough, you know. And again, he was always a good kid, played AR but that's just funny how life works.
And he could hoop. And
He could hoop.
he could really play.
Really could hoop.
But like I did this live, and it was I had Professor on it. You remember Professor?
Yeah, of course.
One,
Of course.
So I'm talking to him because we grew up on the N1 mixtapes.
Yeah, that was
like
us. That was ours.
That took over the streets.
Yeah, that was our. I remember
You know
when
what
it
I
came to Sac. Yeah.
On the mixtapes,
Yeah.
the DVDs.
Shit. I had the VHS.
The VHS and the DVDs, and then when they started coming on ESPN,
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
City to city.
city to city, and then what happened was after the ESPN show and all of that, they all just kind of disappeared, except Professor.
Yeah.
He kept his brand alive. I watched some of the stuff he put on the Spider-Man.
That was the
stuff
one.
and all
Well,
that.
I ain't gonna say except it wasn't just Professor. There's some other people, but he was the one who survived it the best.
Yep.
Like I mean, Rayford went to the league, so it ain't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he was telling me about what that Spider-Man video did for him, and he was like against YouTube. He was like, I don't want to do it until he was doing these things, and other people were taking them and putting them on YouTube, and they had millions of views. They was like, well, I might as well do it myself then. If they gonna get it, then
Right.
Yeah.
and that's how he's growing his thing.
That's smart.
And yeah, man, and you can say what you want to say. That's a lot better than a 9 to 5.
It is.
And you're a professional basketball player. You're getting paid to play basketball, no matter what the capacity of it is. We all wanted to go to the league.
Yeah.
But my mom didn't cheat with the right person. So
it didn't quite happen.
yeah, so now I'm just out here 5'8". 5'9". Depends on if I'm wearing flats. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to ask you this. So, you've seen the different eras of basketball. Like, I can say for me, it went from the big man era to the athletes, the MJs, the high flying guys, to the killer crossover, to the Iversons, to now to the 3-point renaissance. That's what I call this, the 3-point renaissance, right? Stephen Curry, all that changed the game. Everybody's a 3-point shooter now, right? Small ball, all the above, right? You've seen this transition as well. Do you feel that's made the game better or worse? Like, and you can go from the NBA all the way down to even the youth level. Just your overall outlook. Like, do you think it's better, worse, just a different evolution? Like, what do you think?
Because I look at it a little different.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like the big man era ever left.
All right.
Like, so, okay, let's start in the 80s.
Okay.
Because that's easy. But we can go back further, but let's start at the 80s.
80s is
Let's start with the 80s.
Right.
In the 80s, we got Lakers Celtics, right?
Yeah.
And that's the craze.
Right.
Lakers Celtics. Kareem, Mikhail Parrish.
Yeah.
So we can talk about Magic and Bird because I know why y'all doing that. Y'all playing on the race thing and they flashier and all of that. But we talking about Kareem is the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA.
Oh yeah.
Kareem's the greatest high school player ever, greatest college player ever, and arguably the greatest NBA player ever. And Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
And even Bird was 6'9".
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a big dude.
Magic is 6'9". You know what I mean?
Right.
So we can talk about, and then
James Worthy.
James is 6'8". You know what I mean? So now you go. Now within that time, the Sixers won one title. Moses Malone and Dr. J, right? Then you got the Pistons got 2. And you know what I mean? That's something different.
Yep.
Pistons got they 2. And then Mike.
Yeah, then Mike.
Right?
That's where I would say the athletes started to take the high flyers, right? That's when the Clyde Drexlers and all that era
But
started.
that's just Mike.
Yeah.
Because when Mike leave, who gets 2 rings? Hakeem.
Yeah.
Then when Mike retire, where do the rings go through? Shaq, Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, I agree with you.
so, and then after that, Miami gets 1 with Shaq.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we know Dwayne Wade, we know Kobe, but
Right.
and they had Shaq and Zoe.
Yeah.
You know what I
Big
mean?
man.
Detroit gets 1. Ben Wallace,
Yeah.
Shea Wallace,
Right.
Tayshaun 6'10", 6'11",
Lockdown defender.
right?
Yeah.
So then after that, we go back to Boston. Kevin Garnett. Then we go back to L.A. Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom. We know how great Kobe was.
Yeah.
But they had the size.
Right.
Then we go to Miami. LeBron, Chris Bosh, Dwayne. Like, we get it, but Chris
Don't forget
Bosh.
Dirk. Don't forget that 2011.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dirk got one. Yeah,
Dirk got the
you're right.
one.
Yeah,
Dirk
yeah.
is. So no matter how they play, you can say that these are guards, but Giannis is 7'1".
Yeah.
It's a 7-1 guard.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
he's 7'1". The big man, they're controlling the paint defensively.
Yeah.
And they're getting high percentage shots. That's what big men do for you.
That's a fair assessment.
So just because Giannis might be starting at a place where you're not used to a big man starting,
Right.
his finishes are at the rim.
Yeah.
And defensively, he's protecting the paint. He's shooting 60% like the rest. He's shooting the same percentages that a David Robinson would shoot.
That's why Shaq said he likes him.
Yeah.
Like he likes Giannis. He's like, that's my style of game.
And even when the Warriors won the title,
The Warriors, I still feel, are the anomaly.
the Warriors are the anomaly. I agree that the Warriors are the anomaly.
Because, again, nobody thought that formula would work. But when you got guys who could shoot at the level of Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, I'm talking about pre-KD. I mean, that's just
Pre KD, they got the title.
Yeah.
They won the one title, and then they went back to the finals.
Yep.
And they probably should have won that one, but there's a lot of politics going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of foolishness going on.
Yes.
With them not winning that title. So I
Right.
think the Warriors are the anomaly.
Yeah.
But then when you add Kevin Durant, then you just added a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it was time, Kevin Durant was on defense playing center.
Yeah.
And it was Draymond, Iggy, KD,
Yeah.
Steph, Clay.
Yep.
Everybody's rotating,
Right.
and you still got to see Kevin Durant at the paint.
So the big man didn't leave like what you said. So it's the style of play that changed.
Yeah, I mean everything evolves. So it evolved, but I think the notion that like it used to be the big man and now it's the guard, just like talking about like Giannis and Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant, like these are the guards. Like these is
Because they don't play like traditional bigs.
Yeah.
People don't associate them as bigs.
you know what's funny about that? Hakeem Olajuwon didn't play like a quote unquote traditional big.
True.
You look at
He
Hakeem
was
Olajuwon.
skill and footwork, dream shake.
Look at
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon and look at the big men before him. Look at even Kareem. You look at Moses. You look at Willis Reed.
Yeah.
Hakeem ain't play like that. That's like when I be seeing big men work with Hakeem, I'm like, you're wasting your time. You don't.
You're not
can't
go.
do
You're not
that.
gonna
Like
simulate
Dwight,
that.
when Dwight did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dwight was
Dwight,
wasting his
no,
time.
yeah,
Like
he ain't
in
doing
real
that.
life, it's like he has guard footwork, and you know if you don't have that, he can teach you stuff, but you're not gonna know how to do it. Dwight's biggest problem was always offensively. His biggest problem was he never developed a jump shot.
Right.
That was the real. Like everybody was talking about, he don't need no moves.
He's big and powerful. He ain't,
You need a jump shot.
exactly.
Because no matter what move you do, I know where you're going.
Yeah, it's true.
I know you got to go right there because you can't shoot from 15. So even when you face me up, I know you're going to fake one way, go the other way, and try to get to the rim.
Yep.
So it's going to look great until it's time to shut that down and you're playing against like another championship level team. They're like, man, we know what's coming, bro. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Until like you gotta think about, because when we talk about that era of Shaq and Kobe, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, even dudes like Antonio McDyess and Vin Baker,
Right.
like all Jermaine O'Neal,
Yeah.
like all of these dudes was crazy. Dirk,
You're right.
they all had 15-foot jump shots. Like it's like a very simple formula.
Right,
like
right.
you couldn't just wait for them at the paint.
Yeah.
Jump shot was there.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So Dwight never developed that jump shot. But when you're working with Hakeem Olajuwon, like that's the problem. It's like, no, this ain't this ain't your problem. You be better off working with Alonzo Mourning.
That's a good assessment. That's a good unique take. That's a good one. I like that. So, where you're at right now, and again, I know you're not a celebrity, as you love to say.
Well, I will be. I'm working on it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
getting
But I
closer
feel,
to it.
but me being someone who's watched your growth, and like you, my guy, man. You my man, the 50 grand. I'm really like proud of you and happy for you, and I feel like as far as for sure on the comedy scene, you kind of got Sacramento on your back. Like, you know what I mean? How do you feel about that? I mean, you feel any pressure? You feel anything? Or you just like, no, I'm gonna keep doing me and keep enjoying it, and thank you for everybody who support. Where you at? With it?
I appreciate. What's crazy is I don't think like that until people start talking like that. And I don't never be thinking like I got the city on my back.
Well, I know that. I'm not saying it's like a daily thought, but I'm just saying like
I'm not saying you. I'm saying I get that all the time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
From comics especially. You know
I
what I mean?
think everybody's just proud of you.
I know, but more than proud, the proud comes with responsibility.
Fair
you
enough.
know what I mean? So it's like I got to represent a certain way because I got all these people looking at me, like younger comics who's
Right.
like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they looking at me like, okay, what would you, people calling me for advice? I'd be like, nigga, I don't know.
They expect you to be this wise.
Yeah,
And
I'm
you're
like,
like,
bro,
I don't know. Try
I
that
don't
shit.
know. If I had those answers, trust me, you wouldn't have my number. But nah.
That's what's up.
It's an interesting thing because I don't do a lot of reflecting.
Right.
So it just be like a lot of like go.
Right.
Go. You're trying to accomplish something different. That's why I like you always gotta keep people around you that are more successful than you.
True.
Because you can always strive for something. If you constantly the biggest, best person in the room, it's
Yeah,
like if
right.
you hooping, who gonna push you?
Exactly.
It's
You're right.
it's the same kind of thing. So, you know what I mean? Reason why I say I'm not a celebrity because I be in LA and they don't care.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I imagine. Yeah. When you're in LA, it's
Do you know what I mean? It's-
you just everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that culture there is different.
Oh, you did what? Oh, yeah, that's cool. Well, Chris Rock is right there. Right? I'm like,
You like, damn.
I don't fuck about your little. Oh, the Kings, huh? Ooh, whoop-de-doo. They played in Sacramento. Wow, the capital, you say? Ooh, aren't you somebody
Oh, shit.
special?
I can imagine what that's like in
Going
LA.
to LA, it's like, bro, everybody is here.
Yeah.
You go to New York, and you know what I mean. Now it doesn't. What makes me proud is the people who I look up to give it up to me.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So that's like something that it's like, no, whoever you think is somebody will tell you like, nah, he nice.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as far as Sacramento go, it's interesting because sometimes you get to that point where you be feeling like, what else can I do here?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you're gonna keep doing stuff. It's like, I'll be trying to figure out like what's the next move to do here.
Because it's still, at least I'm guessing, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's like this is home base, but you feel like you've established yourself at home base, so it's kind of like you're trying to figure out that next move, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And trying to figure out the next move while also continuing to do things at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't just want to leave and say,
Yeah.
It's like, no, I want to continue. I've established myself here. Now I want to continue to build things here, but also grow internationally, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been traveling the country doing
Really?
comedy since 2000 and consistently since 2016.
Sure. So COVID was like a break for you.
Kinda, because we was only down for, if COVID shut stuff down in March, we was back on the road in June.
Oh wow. Yeah, you was
Because
back to it.
because when you leave California, what COVID?
Yeah.
Lot of-
You're
lot of
right.
these
There's
places-
some. Yeah, you go
lot
to
of-
Florida or something. It ain't. Yeah.
And because a lot of places, you know what I mean, with all of that, and we don't gotta have no big COVID conversation,
Right.
but
We understand.
a lot of businesses is like, yo, we gotta stay open. So it's like, I mean, I get it, y'all saying it's a virus, but there's also an eviction.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Absolutely.
I don't want to
absolutely
catch homelessness.
Yeah. You are absolutely right.
My wife can't wear a mask for that.
It don't
So-
catch homelessness.
Yeah, I'm fly sleeping on my face. I got dreams, baby.
Fair enough.
But that's what like was around the country. It was
Yeah.
like California was the strictest place, and I think still is.
Yeah, we are.
You know what I mean? You go to certain places, it wasn't just Florida, and people think it was just Florida, Texas, and Georgia, and
Right.
it wasn't. It was a lot of these places. Even if they were saying, okay, we're going to open back up, but we're going to open up half capacity. There was anything they could try to do to salvage. It was like, yo, we'll just 25% capacity. We just need to be open.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we was doing, I'm talking about I was all across the country. You know what I mean? And it's interesting, man. So when we talk about Sacramento, it's interesting because I be all over the place just trying to grow it. Trying to grow it. And I'm here for longevity. This is it. I don't have a plan B.
Right.
There is no, well, if this don't work, maybe I could, you know what I mean, go to trade school and figure out how to weld. That's it.
This is it.
I'm not driving Uber. I'm not door dashing. I'm not, this is it. I'm an entertainer.
Well, and you are successful so thus far. And,
Yeah.
I hope and wish nothing but continued success for
I
you.
appreciate it. My multiple streams of income are going to come from other things.
Right.
I've been getting into real estate and
Okay.
stocks and all that stuff, but
nice.
that stuff doesn't interfere with
Right.
what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I'm an entertainer. I'm gonna be. I don't see a scenario where I'm not on stage telling jokes.
Nice.
As long as the club is open, I don't see it. I don't see an amount of money I make to where I say, oh yeah, I'm done telling jokes.
That's
Some
good.
stuff is just inside of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, how much money you got? You gonna stop hooping?
Nah, I don't know. Well, no, so I'm glad you say something like that on this show because Mark preaches that a lot. That's like basically his overall philosophy because his brand is, God-given talent. So, but he always talks about that with his players is like, if you want this shit, like you want to be D1, you want, there ain't no plan B, like but you got to be willing to really like
Put in the
buy
work.
in for a plan A. Now, again, of course, my philosophy is, you aim for the moon, end up in the stars. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you give it all you got, give all the hours, 10,000 hours, 20,000 hours, busting your ass to be this D1 player and do it all the right way, and you end up at a Division II with a bachelor's degree and a good life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but that's my whole take on it. But that's what I'm saying is good for our listeners to hear from someone who's literally living it right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to not say cliche things. but
Right. No, I know what you're
it's
saying.
the journey.
True.
It's the journey, guys. People really be thinking like I'm grinding, so then it's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
If it's not paying off now,
No.
then it's not gonna pay off.
Yeah.
If you don't enjoy what you're doing right now, it ain't paying off.
Yeah.
Like, and it gets better. Like, I'm not saying that, but I remember. Look, I did this competition. I got so many crazy comedy stories.
I know you do.
Like, look, so when I first started comedy, I didn't think you could tell the same joke twice.
Okay.
I thought once I said it once, I could never say
Never
it
say
again
That
in
was
life.
it.
I said, oh no, I said that joke.
always
Everybody seen it. It
has
was-
to be original, right?
It was at an open mic, and there was 7 people there. I can't let nobody else hear that joke. That was for them 7. I go do this competition called the Shades of Laughs in Oregon. This is the first time I had ever left the state to do comedy.
Shades
really,
of Laughs. All right.
Yeah, it's called Shades of Laughs. So I go, and it was, I'm going to fast forward to the end, but I'm going to come back.
Okay.
It was 25 comics. Out of 25 comics, I think I placed 5th.
Nice.
Out of 25 comics. Now, it was 6 shows in 7 nights or 5 shows in 6 nights. So it was like back to back to back with the shows.
Yeah.
If it was 5 shows, these 5 shows were my 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th times on stage ever.
Oh, wow.
Ever. And I'm with veteran comics who've been in
Yeah.
the game 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 years, right? With the mindset that I could never tell the same joke twice.
Okay.
So I was going on stage every night just saying what I thought of that day.
So you're all going off the top.
Kinda.
Right.
Like it's a little more structured than
Yeah.
going off the top, but it wasn't, I wouldn't advise it.
Right.
And I remember I was doing well sometimes. Cause that's what it's a unsureness when you don't have it's like shooting a jump shot if you don't practice your jump shot.
Right.
You just throw it like I hope this go in. Hey man,
Right. Live with the result. Fuck it.
we'll see what happens. That's how I was throwing jokes out there. Like, And one night I was on fire.
Right.
But then the next night,
No.
because this was unproven, untested, unpracticed. But I remember these comics telling me, these veteran comics, it was like, you're really funny, but we can tell you don't do this enough. I had no idea what that was. I was like, no, I just had a show like 6 months ago. What you mean? I'm out here.
Right.
So then he's like, you need to be on stage every night. I said, what?
Every night.
I didn't even understand the concept of being on stage. That sounded impossible.
Right.
How you be on stage every night? So he was like, yo, when you get home, start talking to comics where you're at and find out where the mics are at.
Yeah, as I say, open mics. Yeah.
Find out where everything is at. I'm telling you, for like a year, I was on stage a minimum of 12 times a week. Wow. There was 3 spots on Monday. I go here, go. There was 2 spots on Tuesday, 1 spot on Wednesday, 2 spots on Thursday. Hopefully, I could get some kind of work on the weekend, and I did that every day,
Perfecting your craft.
trying to get nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I started getting nice, and I said, I cannot lose how I got here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, I enjoyed that.
Nice.
I wasn't getting no money. I was having a good time though.
Right.
I was still working a day job too. Before they fired me, but that's another podcast. But you know what I mean? I wasn't doing it like one of these days I'm gonna get some money. I was like, nah, no. I was enjoying being a comic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the things that I was looking forward to wasn't about like I'm looking forward to getting rich. I was like looking forward to performing at certain clubs. I was looking forward to working with certain comics that I was looked up to. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was looking forward to. I wasn't like, man, I gotta keep doing this so I could finally make it. I felt like I had made it already. I was
because you're doing what you was.
I was doing what I was doing, and then it started to be comics who I looked up to. And see, comedy is like, it's no different than basketball. It's like when we on the court, we all on the court.
Yeah.
Care what you did, we on the court.
Right.
If I got to guard LeBron, then we both basketball players at that point.
Right.
I don't care how many points you scored.
Right.
At that point, we both basketball players. So when I'm in the club with whoever, at that point, we both comics.
Yeah.
And then once one of those comics see you, then they really say, oh, nah, he's one of us.
Right.
So now I was just happy to be a part of the fraternity.
Right.
I was just really happy to be accepted by
That's really
by
cool.
comics. Like, and I'm talking about, hold on. Let me check the floor, make sure it's not dirty, because I'm about to drop some names. But no, I've worked with some people.
Okay.
I've worked with
You can name one?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, shit.
Damn, that's the one.
That's one brother I want to meet, man. Me personally,
Yeah.
I would like to meet. Is he cool? Like,
Cool as hell.
chill. He just seems hella cool.
Cool as that.
And smart. Like, just a highly intelligent, cool ass dude, man.
I damn near want to tell a Dave Chappelle story, but I don't want to blow his cover.
Nah.
Man.
If I tell you the story, bro, this is 100%. This is the 100% truth, bro. 2011,
Yeah.
Sacramento Punchline. Dave Chappelle is there.
Nice.
He was there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's unheard of. Comics that big come on the weekends. He came Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I came to the Tuesday show and the Wednesday show. The Wednesday show, the Thunder was playing the Kings. Kevin Durant was at the show. Nazi Muhammad, Nick Collins. And that's when I realized how crazy Kevin Durant was.
Right.
And I mean, when I say crazy, I mean like, because Nazi Muhammad and Nick Collison was his big man, and he was taller than him.
Oh, shit.
Like, I remember that. Like,
Right.
Damn.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm just
Right.
like, oh no, that's the guard. Okay, bro. Like, I'm looking at him. That's
7'2" guard.
yeah. That's clearly someone who cleans bird cages or something. Change stoplights, some shit like that. So the Tuesday, right, at the show, and this is, you gotta remember, this is 2011. Nobody ain't really seen Dave since 2005, really.
Yeah.
Because once he left the show,
Chappelle show, yep.
so he's like an urban legend to even see him. I'm very new in comedy at this time. Not maybe a year. Probably not that long.
Right.
I text the managers of the club. I say, yo, can I come to the show? He said, I cannot give you a seat, but you can come stand by the wall. I said, that is enough for me.
Right.
I stood at the wall. I watched the whole show. Crazy. He said goodnight. He'd go back to the green room. He usually travel with like a few people. Usually have his DJ with him. They'll like play music and he'll just kick it after the club and just kind of be chilling. Everybody leaves. I'm still, they're going to have to kick me out.
Right.
I'm not just walking out. If I say I got to go, I got to go.
Right.
I'm just standing against the wall. Everybody clears out. One of the workers at the club was like, yo, the manager must really like you. He don't let nobody stay here in nights like this. Wow. And he said, have you met Dave? I said, as a matter of fact, I haven't. So I want to introduce you to Dave. So I go meet Dave, and he's just real nice to me, like asking me all these questions. He's like, man, how you liking comedy? Like, just make sure you love it. And if you don't love it, you don't got to do it. And I'm like, fuck that. I got questions, nigga. So it's like,
That's great, man.
And I still had a day job at this time. I worked with a cable company at Comcast. So it's probably 4:00 in the morning. I gotta be at work at 7.
Oh wow.
There's no way I'm going home.
Yeah.
4:00 in the morning. This is when I learned that there was a back entrance to get into the club. I always went through the entrance that the peasants went through. I had no idea that they had this entrance that celebrities come through.
Right.
So, night's ending. Dave and them go out the back entrance.
Yeah.
Me and a few other people walk out like peasants. When I get down there, bro, it's a limo because they was going to the casino.
Wow.
So it's a limo, and they get into the limo. I'm walking past the limo slow, like, I want to get in the limo. But I'm so like in awe of the night because it was a Tuesday night. Like I didn't think that this was how my night was gonna go.
Right. And you got a chance to hang out with Dave Chappelle. Jeez.
I go to my car, bro. As I'm walking to my car, it's like a car honk at me, and it's like a 2 like gold Astro van or something like that. And no, the car honks. I look up and it was Dave. He was like, good night, nigga. And drove off in the Astro van.
For real.
Fucking way.
Get the fuck out of it, bro.
I think he send the limo out, and if people think it's, but he go live his peaceful life in his Astro van. And,
Wow.
you know what I mean? He's like that kind of,
just a
like, he's
chill
real,
dude.
like, yeah.
Low key. I mean, that's the best way to be.
And then a few years later, I like worked with him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an experience. Done shows with him in San Francisco. Worked with Mike Tyson,
Wow.
Wow.
D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer,
So you've been around some brothers, man.
Wow.
Kevin Hart's, Tiffany Haddish.
Damn.
Who's taller, you or Kevin Hart?
I'm towering over Taylor. I'm about to show you a picture. Like, I'm towering.
I was about to say, who's taller, you or Kevin Hart, man?
Just let me say this: if I get the ball and I see Kev on me, I'm yelling out "Mouse in the house."
Mouse in the house.
Yo,
Put him in the post.
I got a baby on me. Get him some Similac and a bib.
That is hilarious. Oh, man.
But and then, so Tony Roberts is one of my closest friends in the world now.
Really?
He's one of my favorite comics before I ever touched the microphone.
Wow.
And now this is like one of my closest. This is somebody I talk to every day.
Nice.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is what I mean by being in the
In
thing.
the fraternity. Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like it changes from. I'm still a fan of all these people, but it changes some. When you like, oh nah, I'm one of y'all. We're one and the same as far as what we do.
That's dope.
Oh, here it go. He was so small I couldn't find the
Right.
picture. I'm talking about towering.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
I'm talking about I got a
Kevin
mouse.
Hart out here.
Paul, yo,
Kevin out here small as
Right?
hell.
For real.
yo, this way. Yo,
That is hilarious. He's
I got
right.
a nephew on me.
Oh, I see the picture. That's for damn sure.
That's sick.
But yeah,
Man.
it's just a lot of people, man.
No,
like
that's great stuff, man.
Robin Williams before he passed.
Wow. Legend.
You got the man. You experiencing life, brother.
Yeah, it was, and like like I said, the Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
Grew up loving Bill Bellamy.
Right,
And now
right.
Bill Bellamy's someone who acknowledges me and my comedy, and we see me and we talking. You know what I mean? It's like
That's really cool, man.
you just grew up watching these people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't grow up wanting to be no comedian, but I always had an interest in it. But I ain't never know it was a real thing you could really do.
Yeah.
Then when I started doing it, I got 5 comics, right? I got 5 comics who my 5 favorite comics.
All time.
Yeah. It might have changed now some, but the point don't change.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mitch Hedberg,
Okay.
Patrice O'Neal,
No, Patrice. Nice.
Richard Pryor,
Of course.
Tony
Legend.
Roberts,
Legend.
Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
Super legend. Yeah.
Mitch Hedberg passed away. Patrice O'Neal passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor passed away. Tony Roberts and Dave Chappelle. Tony's one of my closest friends in the world. And like if Tony does an interview and they ask him who's his favorite comedians, my name come up.
Wow.
That's really cool, brother.
That's sick.
Dave Chappelle does an interview. They ask him his favorite comedians. My name don't come up. Never mentions me. Don't even think he knows my name. Comfortable. I wouldn't bet on it. I mean, it's possible. But I wouldn't put like real money on it.
But you on his? But you he's on your list though.
He's on my list, but I worked with him a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And you got to meet him, and you got to
And
just
I
chill
got
with
to
him.
meet him. I got to chill with him, and he's gave me great compliments about my work,
That's great,
and
brother.
that's enough for me.
Hell
So
yeah.
out of my 5 favorite comics, the 2 that are alive,
You got a chance to collab with.
not just that, they've told me that they appreciate what I do.
Wow.
That's a huge thing, brother.
You know, so
That's it.
so yeah, that's the thing. Like when you talk,
Splash for Chappelle.
oh, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
There's a fish in here.
Right? No, that's big, man.
So, but this and that fraternity is, but it's I know y'all do basketball here, so it's the basketball thing. It's
Of course.
Yeah.
See, now once you get to coaching,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Once y'all doing the coaching and the training, you know what I mean. It's like,
Oh, it's a fraternity in itself. Unfortunately, it gets a little, like you said, filthy, but
yeah,
it's not like that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's how me and him met, and that's how we've connected. And, that's been a unifying thing for a lot of things, even for me to be able to create this platform. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And ultimately, I created this platform because I like stories. I like hearing people's stories. I like sitting here listening to your journey. You know what I mean? Me and Mark talk all the time, listening, bouncing ideas off each other. I like hearing everybody's journey, but our commonality is we enjoy this game of basketball.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
That's the simple part of it. You know what I mean?
That's all it is, and everything opens doors up.
Yeah.
So when I talked about how muddy AAU is, no, it's filthy. It just is what it is. But
Right.
it's business.
Right.
It's filthy, and the thing that makes it more filthy is we talking about young people.
Yeah.
So you have like adults like doing these things with young people, and that's what makes it so filthy. It's like, oh, this
It's a lot of exploitation going on.
a lot of exploitation going on. You know what I mean? But the relationships that these young people are building with each other,
Yeah.
it's priceless.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The lessons that they should be learning through this, priceless. You know what I mean? It's like y'all not going to the league, most of y'all. But as long as that's the focus, you're gonna be disappointed with the game.
Yeah.
Sure, I agree.
If we can get the focus right, then this don't feel the same way. Now it's like, it's almost like when you hang out with a girl and it's like, if her thing is if we don't get married, this relationship was a failure. And I mean, then
Right.
I guess this is gonna be a failure. Then. Like if you playing basketball, like if I don't get to the league, this is a failure.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's unreal. Let's circle back. I want to drop a bomb for this one. Let's talk about the NBA a little bit before we head out, do our shout outs and stuff. But I wanted to break down a couple storylines in the NBA right now. Preseason just kicked off, right? He's a super Lakers fan over here, so he has his Lakers picked to win it all.
Hell yeah.
And I watched the preseason game. I mean, they look good. The Warriors got 20 All-Stars and 5 Hall of Famers, but they're
Saying the Warriors or the Lakers?
the Lakers.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lakers. Yeah, they
got 6 Hall of Famers. Got 6.
Is it 6?
6.
Yeah.
Rondo, Dwight, Melo, LeBron. I'm assuming AD and Russ.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's 6, right? That's
Yeah,
6.
I think so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's 6.
that's not fucking normal. It's not normal. And they've made an AAU team. They made an AAU team, an NBA AAU team.
Is that abnormal for the Lakers?
Maybe not. Usually I get it through draft, but now they just shit. They said, nah, fuck it. We'll
Nah,
just
Lakers
recruit.
get a lot of their stuff off free agency.
Do they get it through draft?
Nah.
No, I guess not.
Only
Smaller
Kobe.
markets.
Only Kobe,
Yeah,
really,
that's
and
true.
Magic.
Yeah,
Only
that's true.
Kobe and Magic.
And even Kobe and Magic is,
Yeah,
when you
that's
understand the
true.
stories behind
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic forced his way to LA. That's just what happened.
Right,
Yeah.
you're
He
right.
forced his way to LA, and Kobe's agent said he'll stay in Italy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm a Warriors fan, so I was excited to see my Warriors come back and Klay Thompson come back from his injury, hoping those the Splash Brothers are back in effect. One thing I did want to point out while I was watching the Warriors game, I was watching the Warriors Portland one, and I don't know if y'all know this, so they implemented a new rule in the NBA.
Yeah.
I'll just say the quick version because they have this long paragraph, but basically, it's like the James Harden rule. You can't, the James Harden Trae Young rule. You can't sell fouls. You can't jump into the. It has to be a natural
Shooting motion.
shot. And Steph tried it.
Yeah,
he
they
tried
didn't
it,
call it.
and they analyzed. He looked fucking ridiculous doing it too. I think that's what's gonna make guys stop doing it because they look fucking ridiculous. And they didn't call anything. No call. Steve Kerr's like, hey, and I was like, I actually looked and I was like, thank you. Like I was actually happy about that shit, and that's against my own team.
I think most basketball fans was happy about it.
Yeah.
This is what you got to understand as a basketball fan is they do this every year.
Right.
Every year they say we're going to implement something.
I know,
We're not
I know,
calling this.
right.
And by mid-season, it's right back to
That's
what
what
it
I'm
was.
curious. That's what I was going to say exactly, too. I'm curious if they're going to actually stick with that all year, right?
Because at some point, it's a foul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because especially for the defense, like you're not supposed to leave your feet.
Yes.
So that's the tough part.
At some
Right.
point, it's a foul. I don't care what y'all saying. At some point, it's a foul. It's stupid,
Yeah.
but I mean, if y'all saying if the defender leaves his feet, it's a foul.
Well, it's like watching the play, like he closed out, had his hands up. He didn't jump. But Curry jumped into him and then tried to, and so he did. I thought he didn't. But either way, maybe I think maybe it'll be policed a little different from the wing. But guys like James Harden who get to the paint, that's where I think it's going to be harder.
Because that's the interesting part. You're taught to do that in the paint.
Yeah.
You're taught to jump into the defender
Right,
and create
try to
contact.
sell the foul, yeah.
And create contact.
Yeah.
So they're just doing that from 30 feet away.
Right.
It looks stupid,
Exactly.
but
Which is why I think the refs can get away with like not calling it because it's like, I mean, yeah, you see it, it's like it's fucking ridiculous. Like,
if you go in the paint and you pump fake down low, the first thing you taught is to go through him and get the contact.
yep.
Yeah.
So if you're on the perimeter and you pump fake,
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it once again it looks stupid. And see, I don't like the idea of foul hunting in
Yeah,
general.
I don't like that at all.
Because-
I've never been a fan of that. I mean, you do, I guess in certain situations you do what you got to do. But yeah, I mean, now the guys have made a whole career out of it. And it slows the game down and just, I don't know.
Like for example, like the swing through.
Yeah.
They said they was gonna stop calling that, and they did stop calling it as shooting fouls.
Yeah.
but they still call it.
It was Kevin Durant was the reason they had to change that.
They called
it
it
was
the Kevin Durant the
rule.
swing through
Yep.
thing, and so they still call it. They're just not giving you the free throws for it.
Right,
But they're
right.
still calling that a foul.
Yep.
So it's still putting teams in the penalty.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
and it still softens the defense up.
Yeah.
It does, and gets guys in foul trouble. I mean, it has a lot of ramifications. I mean, we'll see. Just thought that was an interesting storyline.
Oh no, he looked goofy as hell.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much they keep that up. And then this is obviously another hot topic, what's going on in the NBA. The guys not getting vaccinated, right?
Kyrie, the last one, I think.
Yeah, I think he's the last one. Again, I'm mainly zeroed in on this because I'm a Warriors fan, and Wiggins was making a big deal about it. And for those who listen on the show, you obviously know this isn't about telling you if you should get vaccinated or not. That's not our stance here, but I'm just reporting what's going on and kind of our, my opinion about it and things like that. With Wiggins, I guess, finally agreeing to do it. Kyrie saying no, and he could potentially lose, I think, $15 million.
20 million.
20
Something
million?
like that. Yeah, a couple dollars.
And Kyrie's proven he will do his own thing. When it's said and done, do we think he's going to actually do that? I don't know. I just don't. I mean, he's not going to be broke. He's clearly he'll be fine. But
Kyrie hasn't even really made a strong stance. He ain't like came out and said he ain't doing nothing.
yeah,
This is what I don't believe. Here comes the hot water, guys.
right.
Be prepared to get your show canceled.
That's fine. That's fine. I didn't plan on running long anyway. So shit.
Nah, this is what it is, right? Do I believe that everybody got vacuumed up? No,
In the NBA.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
It's not. Everybody got these different takes. It ain't just.
Right.
It's
right.
not. It's not this uniform thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So because if I'm not mistaken, Bradley Beal just had a press conference talking about. I don't understand why I would do it if I could still catch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's one of them things. 'Cause I don't even think Wiggins made a big deal out of it. They kept asking him about it.
Right.
Wiggins was just chilling, like, yo, they keep asking you about something. Then he did the conference after. He said, I didn't want to do this. I feel forced to do this. I guess this is not really my body. That's what Wiggins said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, do I think? I think Kyrie's gonna play. Like, whatever that means to you. I think Kyrie will be on the court.
What about you, Mark?
I feel I think you're saying about Wiggins when he said like I'm being forced. I mean, in all honesty, he's not being forced because he can stop playing basketball. Like he's not gonna go to jail. He's made over $100 million if he stopped right now. So think about that. So when he says that, which I said everybody has their own beliefs and whatnot, but when you're thinking about a profession and a lot of people have dreamed about playing basketball, and you get to a point where it's either like what he said, it was either play in the NBA, continue to have a career, or a lot of people ain't going to be like Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Kyrie Irving, honestly, you know what I'm saying? I know Kyrie's different. He's definitely the way he think. But at the end of the day, to take a stand like this, or again, like I said, everybody has their own opinions about it. I mean, I'm vaccinated, but to see that, I think he's already vaccinated, to be honest with you. I feel like he's just trying to prove a point. But are you not trying to win a championship? Are you really? That's 40 games that you're going to miss, because I think San Francisco and New York, like if you don't, the rule is if you're not vaccinated or whatever, you can't be in the building. So technically he can still play, but then on the other end of it, how about for your team? For Steve Nash, Kevin Durant, James Harden, I thought the goal is to win the championship this year. So you can't tell me that you guys can get through the play. What if they got to go through a 7-game series, and so you're not going to play none of the home games? You know what I'm saying? So it's like unless he's really about it and he's like, nah, I ain't going to do it. I mean, he's going to live good. He's made money, but at the end of the day, I just think that he's trying to prove a point. And yeah, man, I think. Because, yeah, man, I'm ready for Christmas Day. I need to see everybody on the court. Lakers versus Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what be crazy is, like, say you express yourself. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then you end up doing it for those reasons you said. What about my teammates? Then the narrative is he folded. He's a sellout.
I know. Yeah.
It's like
it's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. And then we could talk about my teammates, but I'm a person first.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Beliefs are beliefs. And you know what I mean? It's just a tough circumstance.
There's no right answer, I don't think, here. I think it's just tough.
It's one of them things, man. And
money talks though.
It does.
Money talks.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, this is what Chappelle said. Taking a man's livelihood is like taking his life.
Yeah.
So yes, you can walk away, but you took my livelihood away.
Yeah. And that's where
and you didn't but you took my livelihood away.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm lucky to be here. I worked to get here.
That's true.
I worked to get to this position.
Yeah.
Y'all gave me $180 million because I earned it.
Yes.
Because anybody in business who gives you $180 million is because they're making $500 million off of you.
True.
That's how business works.
Yeah.
So
right.
all of that, I mean, you getting paid millions. Let's relax, guys.
Right.
I'm getting paid nice.
Yes.
If you knew what they made from me, if you knew the work I put in in comparison for these peanuts, in comparison to what they're making.
Yeah. Isn't that what Chris Rock said, right? He said who do you think's wealthy? Shaq or the person who gives Shaq his check?
And look, I had a conversation with an NBA owner. Right. All right, I'm gonna try to shorten this up.
Okay.
I had a conversation with an NBA owner, and I was telling him about how racist the salary cap is. And so we know what the salary cap is, and there's things that we are used to just saying. We subconsciously say, oh, nah, that's the salary cap. They don't want to pay the luxury tax and do all those things, right? NBA has guaranteed contracts, but with a salary cap. NFL does not have guaranteed contracts, also with a salary cap.
No.
Baseball.
No, there's no cap.
Has no salary cap.
They can pay you whatever.
Now, we gotta look at baseball. Baseball, if you think about the 90s, how many black baseball players was it?
Shit.
More than you could think of. Big names, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey, Deion Sanders, Bobby Bonilla, Frank Thomas, Kenny Lofton, Ricky Henderson, so on and so forth. They all mysteriously disappeared. Let me tell you, baseball strategically got black people out of baseball. remember the youth programs that we had
Yeah.
growing up for baseball in the ghetto,
Yeah.
they no longer exist.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I remember the Babe Ruth League and the Joe Morgan leagues and all
George
that. Yeah.
Sims, those things do not exist no more for baseball in the quote unquote inner city. The inner city just means where the blacks are.
Pretty much.
So baseball strategically got black people out of there, and then they started going to places like the Dominican, and
Latin countries. Yeah.
getting people who look like American black people, and you can't tell until they start speaking that Spanish. David Ortiz looked like a nigga from Detroit until he started talking.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So
I
then
agree with you on
then
that.
they started saying we can get 10 of these Dominicans for the price of one black dude from the Bronx.
Right.
That settles it
Damn.
with no salary cap. Basketball has a salary cap. Now you got to know how to decode language.
Mm-hmm.
What is a salary cap? You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What does that actually mean? It's a salary cap. Salary cap is simply a bunch of owners, white owners,
Yeah.
coming together and saying, okay, we agree that this is the most money we'll give any one nigga at one time.
Yeah.
That's what the salary cap is. You can do all of the technicals. You guys have agreed that, yo, we not giving none of these niggas no more than about it. At the most, 255. I don't give a fuck who you is. And that's the super duper max. 255 million and not a penny more. That's what Supermax contract
That
is.
is.
That's the
That
contract
is.
Steph Curry signed.
Yeah,
$257 million.
$250
Now, Juan Carlos Stanton plays for the Yankees now. And I think he signed for 10 years, $340 million. That's $100 million more dollars than Steph Curry. Who do you think's more popular?
No, by far, Steph Curry.
Right?
Clearly. Yeah.
Albert Pujols signed for $300+ million.
Yeah, damn.
I think LeBron's biggest contract he's ever signed was $180 million, just in contract.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols signed for double that, close to double that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you got to ask yourself, with no salary cap, how much does LeBron sign for in an open market?
$500,000. I'm not $500,000. Half of billion. 500 million. 500 million.
I think you got to give LeBron $1.1 billion.
Shit. Probably.
I'm not even joking around. Like, I think
No, I
the
agree.
contract for LeBron has to be 10 years, $1.2 billion.
Shit.
And that sets the market. So that means KD signs for 1.1. And then Prime Melo signs for 999,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because see, when LeBron left Cleveland, it didn't just affect the Cavaliers; it affected the economy in the state of Ohio.
Yep.
It affected the malls, the bars,
Restaurant.
the restaurants, the hotels,
Yep.
the prostitution. Everything is affected.
Right.
It's not just about basketball. These people affect the economy of states
Yeah.
with a salary cap.
So what was the reaction of that owner that you talked to when you gave him your
He
opinion?
didn't disagree with me. He just said,
That's interesting.
yeah. I mean,
We got to take him out.
yeah. I mean, he wasn't like, you're right. But he was just like, he was like, no, there's some validity there. But he's like, you also got to remember that the owners are taking on all of the risk.
Yeah.
And I can understand that too. But LeBron James ain't much of a risk.
Right. No, well, clearly.
You know what I mean?
That
But
was a great investment.
But there are more players than LeBron. I'm only talking the highs and the highs.
Yeah.
But that's how you get parity in the league. See, one of the things they tell you about a salary cap, I know I'm off topic, but one of the things about a salary
You're
cap
fine.
is they'll tell you this is how you create parity. Because they say if there's no salary cap, then the teams with the most money will just sign all the players.
Yeah.
Right? But the teams with the most money be signing all the players anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? The Lakers just sign all the players. So this is what happens. Now, if there's an open market and there's no salary cap, So when you enter into free agency, you can always, whatever, however those clauses work, you can get the most money by re-signing with your team. Then after that, everybody else is kind of equal depending on what they have in their cap.
Right.
Right? So this is the only way that you would get a Kevin Durant to come to Sacramento. There's no salary cap. Because if I have if the thing is the most any team can offer me is 4 years, $160 million, I'm going to Brooklyn.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Now if there's
A big market, big city, right? Major.
if there's no cap, and Sacramento was like, yo, we have to make a splash. We're gonna have to give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're gonna have to give
No, I get what you're saying.
Dwight Howard $600 million. There's no way around this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if everybody's like, yo, everybody can give 180, then you know where the free agent is going.
Yeah.
Makes
Like
sense.
that's why if you look at the history of basketball from 1980, how many multiple teams? I'm sorry. How many teams have multiple titles since 1980? Lakers, Celtics, Pistons, Bulls, Rockets, Heat, Warriors, Spurs.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Pistons again. If you're talking
Yeah.
about the
No. I'm
We're just saying
saying-
multiple.
Oh, yeah.
multiple
just saying
championships.
multiple
But yeah, that's
championships
it.
since 1980. That's been
The
30.
big market teams.
That's 8 on your
I mean,
finger, right? That's 8.
I'm gonna make sure I didn't forget nobody. Lakers, Celtics,
Yeah, that's
Bulls.
obvious.
Pistons, Bulls, Rockets, Spurs, Warriors, Heat.
That's it.
Yeah. 30
That's it.
teams in the league.
Yeah. The major markets.
The major markets. You know what I mean? So you can talk all the salary cap talk.
How many championships the Yankees have?
A lot.
They have the most, right? And of course, there's no salary cap either, so it's
Yeah.
We're going to keep signing the best talent for the most amount of money.
that's crazy, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. And baseball, because the thing about baseball is similar to football is there's too much that's out of your control. See, basketball, once you sign LeBron, he can affect offense and defense.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing Derek Jeter can do about the pitcher.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't nothing he could do about that.
Right.
There's nothing Tom Brady could do about his defense.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you know what I mean? It's like LeBron can say, okay, I'm going to go guard him.
Right.
Give me the ball, and then I'll go guard him. Then I'll get the rebound.
Yeah.
And then I'll draw up a play.
Right.
Literally.
I'm talking about one of them finals. LeBron did all that. After the game, this nigga went and started folding chairs. I
Right.
said, he is doing everything. He's selling popcorn at halftime.
Right. That makes sense.
But,
No, that's a good take, man.
you know, I'm looking
That's a
at
good outtake.
and they talking about stuff. I'm looking like, no, but it's the same team.
Yeah.
Just watching the same teams.
You're right. Absolutely right. Well, this is that goes to my list. So I made a list. In my opinion, you guys can agree, disagree, whatever. But this was I was looking at, just looking at the starting fives for all the teams in the NBA, and this is my top 10 starting five. Kind of with all the moves that people make. So I'll name my list off. You guys agree, disagree. I'm not gonna sit here and elaborate on why each team is in that spot, but just my opinion. At number 10, I got the Bulls.
Okay.
Like I said, these are the best starting fives in the NBA currently. Number 9, Atlanta. Right. Number 8, the Celtics. Number 7, Miami. Number 6, the Suns. Number 5 is Denver. Now, this top 4 list, I guess depending on where you at, it could be interchangeable, but to me, this is how it pans out. Number 4 is the Bucks, right? Number 3 is the Warriors. Number 2 is the Lakers. And number 1 is Brooklyn. But, of course, I feel like Lakers-Brooklyn, you can potentially interchange, especially if Kyrie.
So you're talking about this season?
This season,
Top 5.
top 5 starting fives. Or top 10 starting fives. right? That was my list. Bulls, Atlanta, Celtics, Miami, Suns, Denver, Bucks, Warriors, Lakers, Brooklyn, from 10 to 1. So Brooklyn's number 1, Lakers number 2, my Warriors number 3.
Warriors number 3 is that's you being a fan.
Shut the fuck
Hey,
up.
that's what I was about to say.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Loyalty.
Hey,
How is the Bucks a better starting five than my starting
you
five?
You said you had the Bulls number 10. Bulls, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty solid. You know, they got,
I said
they got them at 10. Like,
yes.
damn.
Why should they be higher? How is their starting
mean,
five better than Atlanta's starting five?
They got Zoe, they got Zach LaVine,
They
they got DeMar DeRozan,
proven
they
anything.
got
Atlanta
Vucevic.
actually proven something. That's going based off theory. I'm
So we're doing this off what they've done, or we going by individuals?
No, I'm sitting there saying, well, I have Atlanta ahead of them.
Because Trae Young, who else Trae Young got to help him?
What's that boy's
There we go.
name? I can't think of
He got Bogey. He got Clint Capella.
Yeah, there you
He
go.
got John Collins.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't think of all their names.
He got Hoarder.
I mean, the Celtics, I think, now that they got Smart,
Schroeder. I don't know if Schroeder's starting.
oh yeah. And then was it Kemba? Or not
Kemba.
Kemba, sorry.
Kemba in New
John
York
Wall.
now.
Did they get John?
No,
Wall?
John Wall's still with
thought it was
Houston.
with them.
They haven't traded him yet.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to get a
Nah,
buyout.
that was some inside information. He wasn't supposed to say that. He knows something he ain't supposed to know. I said John Wall. I just talked to him. What? Huh? No, I didn't say nothing.
I'm telling y'all, man. Look, that's just my opinion of the best starting fives in the NBA.
So what was the comp? So this is what you got. You got to cut through what people say, and you got to figure out what they really trying to say.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
So what he was trying to say was, he said all of that Bulls. None of that meant.
How's that bullshit?
No, I'm just telling
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
Bulls 9. So none of that meant a thing. He was getting to all of that. All he wanted to tell you was the Warriors is 3. And he got Brooklyn over LA. The only reason he did all of that
That's the only reason.
was to tell us those two things. That's the conversation he wanted to have. It's clear as day.
All right.
So you want so you got the Warriors at number 3.
Yeah.
With
Best starting five.
So now let me, because I don't know this. Is it Wiseman, Draymond? Who's the 3?
Iguodala.
Is Iguodala starting at the 3? Is that what?
I think they're trying to figure it out. If Wiggins,
So you don't even know who's starting.
Wiggins,
Wiggins, Steph, and
Clay.
2-year injury.
Stop it.
ACL,
Stop
Achilles,
it.
Klay Thompson.
Listen. His game is not predicated off his athleticism. All that motherfucker got to do is be able to catch and
Bro,
shoot
you
a
got
three.
them at
Right.
number 3 though.
You're right.
Yeah,
Like
that's all he got. I'm going based off
You
history.
know what? Every athlete, every basketball player's game is predicated on their legs working.
His legs work. He
Okay.
can catch and shoot that motherfucker. Okay. Ain't working enough for that.
So you would consider the Warriors lineup right now to be a better lineup than Denver's.
Yes.
You didn't even sound confident.
I did sound confident. I am very confident in that.
Okay.
No,
Because Jamal Murray's coming back from injury
he
too.
is.
They
But
just
I
signed
think he's gonna be
Porter.
good. I
Porter
think-
got a big ass contract.
He does.
He's
Yeah.
gonna have a breakout year.
He does, but he has to have that breakout year.
And they got
We'll
the
see.
MVP of the league as well.
Well, that didn't mean shit last year.
And they just signed Aaron Gordon to a big contract.
That's
So
true.
and then you got Brooklyn over LA. That's you want to talk. I felt it in your soul.
No, I didn't. No, I just know he is an avid LA fan.
What now? This is my question for LA. I don't who y'all think LA starting at the 2?
So for me, as a Laker fan, like I know for a fact they're not going to do the whole Hall of Famer thing. Like you can't do that. Rondo's going to come off the bench. So for me, what I believe is going to be for sure. It's going to be Russ, LeBron, and AD. The 2, right? You got to put a shooter in there. Wayne Ellington or Monk, right? It's going to be one of them. And then if that 4th, that's the tough one.
Is it gonna be Dwight?
I think he comes off the bench. They're saying that AD is going to start off center this year. So I don't know if you're going to put LeBron at the 4. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Either you can put Monk and Wayne Ellington in there for the shooters because, Westbrook can't shoot. So if you put him in there, you got AD and LeBron. I feel like that's my opinion, my 5.
The Lakers signed one more big. I just can't. Oh, DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre
Yes.
Jordan. Yeah, he's with him.
He's
now,
coming
too.
off the bench for sure.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
coming off the bench for sure?
I believe so.
hell
He
yeah.
should.
I think it'll be him or Dwight. I think that's going to
To start
be yeah.
with AD.
I think one of them two is going to start. I
think it's gonna be
feel
him
one
and
of them
Dwight.
will start, but I think it's going to be Dwight starting. But I mean, who knows? Shit, it's preseason. We'll see. And then I got one more question before we get out of here. This is more kind of an AAU thing. I talked about this on my little sideshow, Coach's Rise Time. And I get the feeling in the culture of basketball, at least, and this is more just talking to AAU parents and things like that and just being involved in this. I feel like there's a misconception that everything when it comes to basketball should be cheap or free, right? Like parents come across like, because, okay, and this is where my comparison comes from, because, I'm in Rockland, let's be real, I'm around money.
The whites.
Right? I'm around that. And so, there's Placer United, which is this really high-level soccer AAU club, and then there's Synergy Volleyball, which is like this pristine volleyball club, right? They charge thousands for a 2-month, 3-month season for these little girls to do volleyball. You know what I mean? They'd be 10 years old. Yeah, that's $4,000, right? It's like, what the fuck? So I go to a parent, say, yeah, hey, for 2.5 months, 2 practices a week, and 6 tournaments, it's probably gonna be $500. And they're like, wait a minute, you trying to rob me? Like, you know what I mean? It's the same one. Doesn't your daughter go to Synergy? Like, yeah, I just feel culturally, there's a few factors why I think that is, but I think it has to do with the history. I think it has to do with the culture of basketball being predominantly black, just a lot of things like that, that there's this misconception that coaches' times, referees, officials, just everybody should be on the cheap end. I don't agree with that shit. I think it's overall fucked up, and it invalidates those guys out there who work their ass off. Because nobody argues that Coach K should get paid millions, or Calipari. No one will argue that. He's at Duke. He's won championships. So it's like, okay, I get that. But what about the guy that's literally in the trenches working with your 8-year-old day in, day out? Why should he not get paid? That's the disconnect for me. So I was just wondering y'all thoughts on that before we get out of here.
It's about perception. And there's a perception of basketball. It's like, oh, you just pick it up and play basketball.
Right.
Like golf is expensive. Soccer is expensive. And these things are looked at as more, I don't want to say sophisticated.
Right. Like tennis, right? Tennis is
the
another
same way. Yeah. So that's kind of how it's viewed. And yeah, I mean, it's a racial component to that.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Definitely
saying.
a racial component to that. Yeah.
It's tough, right?
It's a racial component, but I don't think they are operating in racism.
No, me either. I just think it's the subtext.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of under that. I mean, I don't know if you've experienced any type of that, Marcus, you and Dixon.
Oh yeah,
I know
man, it's tough for me. I won't lie, it's tough. But I mean, like you said, it's a culture thing. It's at the same time, I also just believe in too is just kind of how you present yourself. You know what I'm saying? If I've noticed, especially in the training side of it, if you have a resume, or if you've helped a player get to the league, or if you have D1 guys, of course, usually those trainers they charge a lot. I understand that, of course, you've proven yourself,
and they can set their standard because
you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I work with this guy, he's in the league right now, so okay. And at the same time, somebody like me, right? Like I've been doing the training thing for the last 3 years, and like I'm very passionate with what I do. To be honest, I feel like I'm really good at what I do. So I spend hours with my kids. But at the same time, it's because I'm still in the early process, right? That when I throw out a number sometimes to certain parents, I get that look where I'm at the end of the day, like you said, I'm thinking about the longevity of the time that, the next 3, 4, 5 years of the time I'm putting in. Yes, I don't got no NBA guys. Of course now, I got a couple D1 guys I've helped. But at the end of the day, it's like, there shouldn't be no hesitation of what my price is, because I believe that's what I'm worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, for the area that I'm kind of in, sometimes I get that, you know what I'm saying? Just because, like I said, basketball isn't big in Dix in Vacaville, but for me, I feel like shit. Then I should low key raise my prices even more.
Exactly. Right.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm still in the early process of everything, but that's how I kind of feel about it. So.
I mean, I think when I mentioned on that episode, I just said the biggest commodity, and this is what CEOs, and they talk about all the time, CEOs and Jeff Bezos and all that. But when you get to a certain level, you recognize the biggest commodity of wealth that you have that runs out all the time is time. Mm-hmm. Right? Time. That's the one thing we all going to run out of, and you start to learn, especially as you get older and especially as you gain more and more success, how valuable your time is. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's where I've gotten to that point where I respect a lot of people's time and things like that. That's why, like, even when I was inviting you to the show, that's why I was saying, like, when it works for you, when it's available for you, because your time is valuable. It just is what it is. Mark's time is valuable. I sometimes feel like parents, especially in this AAU basketball shit, they sometimes feel, or they come across at us like our time isn't valuable.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. It's just a little annoying.
Mm-hmm. So in the area that you want to talk about, the perception, the area that you're in, these parents are not banking on their kids getting them out of poverty through basketball.
Right.
So it's not like we got to do everything to get little Timmy to the league.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Like, Timmy has a college fund set up. He likes this basketball jigaboo thing, so I'm gonna support it. But this is
well, and I mean, but even see on the flip side of it, because then you flip on the other side. You go to South Sac, Del Paso Heights, some of these places. You get some of these kids from these tough neighborhoods, but they're really, really good, or they become really, really talented. Then the parents think, because they're so talented now, I deserve everything for free. Then you deal with the entitlement side of it.
Yeah, and we just when you come from, when you in poverty, you always looking for the hookup.
Yeah,
it ain't even as entitlement. I told you I take advantage of people thinking I'm a celebrity all the time. Like, oh, I don't have to wait in line. I mean, well, bye guys. I'm going inside. Hope the
no, there's nothing wrong.
Get here.
There's nothing wrong with a hookup. I totally am down for that. But I'm telling you, there's some parents where it crosses the line of hookup, where it's like, oh no, it's a privilege for my 10-year-old to be in here, and it's like, wait a minute, hold on.
I'm gonna tell you what I mean by the perception of basketball. This is the story that happened to me.
Okay,
having a conversation with a lovely older white lady.
Okay.
Just talking about sports. Regular conversation. She told me she loves the NFL.
Okay.
So I love the NFL. So she said to me. So I like the NBA. I like basketball too. But I just don't like it's like it's a bunch of thugs in basketball.
Oh shit. There's that word.
Here we go.
Now, if you know the NFL versus the NBA, the NBA players don't get in any trouble.
Yeah, the thugs are actually
all of the alleged
the alleged
domestic violence and gun cases and dog fighting. That's all in the NFL. NBA does not have that.
Right.
And hasn't had it in a long time. I mean,
the NBA has the IG models and
one time a few years ago, maybe some people went in the stands and punched a few fans.
Yeah, that might have happened.
That was years ago.
Right, exactly.
But that's just the perception, because all she sees is a bunch of black people with tattoos.
Yeah.
NFL makes sure to market the white quarterback to make you feel like, no, this is safe, guys. Look, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady.
Right.
Now they got some new ones. Josh Herbert.
Right.
Joe Burrow. Not that they can't play, but I know what y'all doing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all not pushing Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, maybe that's why people feel on the mainstream side. That's why people love Steph Curry. That's that perception of him and whatnot.
But even you gotta think about everyone, like NBA that's just not what the NBA represents.
Right.
Like literally, it's like you talking about LeBron, let's talk about the family man who's
right.
been famous since he was 14 and never got in any trouble.
Right.
With the black family and his children and his wife he's been with since high school. That's thug.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to come around thugs. You think these are thugs? Let me tell you something, lady. You shouldn't be talking to me right now. I've been eyeing your purse this whole time.
No, man. But with that being said, I appreciate you, Lance, for just showing up, man. I appreciate you doing this, brother. Like, this is a great show. This is a funny ass show. I knew it was gonna be, man.
My cheeks are sore right now, man.
Pause. Wait a minute. On that note,
No homo.
Big pause. Big pause. So, but
Yikes.
no, I
He said his cheeks are sore with that luxurious hair and
luxurious.
with sweats on. Open that door. Open the window. Let people see what's not going on in here.
Oh, I set myself up on that one.
No, well, for our listeners, man, we appreciate you as always. Our sponsors, our patrons, man. Lance, hopefully you can make it a part 2 one day. But please support my man. I'm gonna have links to all his social media. Please check him out. Go give him a follow. The man's doing great work. And like I said, he's a basketball fanatic, which is great for the community and great to hear his perception. The biggest thing is, everybody, I hope you learning. I hope this is inspiring for you younger cats. I hope it's helping you guys grow and learn that your passion doesn't only have to be in the game of basketball, but they can transfer to everything else, right? Parents, please hear us out. Maybe get a little bit of knowledge. Coaches, I know I'm seeing coaches from all over. Check us out. Hope you learning and getting something from it. But no, we appreciate you for those who've been supporting since day one. For any new fans that listen to an episode and want to check us out, look at the older ones, man. Tell us what you think. Feel free to reach out. But again, Lance, appreciate you, man. Love you, brother.
I appreciate y'all. This was fantastic time, guys.
And we are out.
My cheeks are also sore.
Shut up.